What's up, guys? It's Joe Holland, and it might rain, it might not. We're just getting off the lake. Pops and I went out, and we caught ourselves a staving bucket of crappie. Not a 5-gallon bucket, more like probably, what's that, about a 2-gallon bucket?
Three, two.
Two, maybe 3-gallon bucket, as they say here, French Canada in Maine. And I'm going to show you guys how I quick fillet them and vacuum seal them and show you my whole setup. So I'm going to hand the camera over to Pops. You can see like that, I think.
Yep.
See all right?
I can see it.
All right, so this is my setup that I do, and I take this in the house, I take it in the woods, on the ice, everything else. This is all made by a company called Packback. Got a vacuum sealer right here. Pretty awesome. Got some vacuum seal bags. Now this thing is battery operated, okay? So you can take it anywhere. I think it might be the only battery operated one in existence. And I got an extra battery there. I got a bag that fits everything perfectly. And it even comes with a cutting board, which is extra nice.
Nice.
So we got the cutting board. It's a pretty sweet setup. And then the reason I like to do this, it might be that bag. It smells. The reason I like to do this
it is.
with a vacuum sealer is because it's just such an easy cleanup. If you're out on the water or out on the ice or whatever, it's easy just to clean up and get rid of everything, and you don't have to take it home. You don't have to do stuff at home after a long day of fishing. So that's one of the reasons I like to do that. And then I tried a Chinese knockoff knife earlier in the year that I did not like, and this one's been awesome so far for me. This is Bass Pro Shops Cabela's one. No sponsorship or anything from these guys or anything like that, but this one's also battery operated. I picked up an extra battery for it, and it does really well. It should be able to do all those fish right there. I'm not sure if this one was charged up or not, but there's several different blade options right here. This one's like kind of like a finesse or really get into them blade option there. So I think that's locked in, and then but we're not working for some reason. Maybe that battery's dead. So let's hope let's hope one of these batteries has a charge in it, or else. Yeah, let's hope that's got enough charge in it, or else this video won't be much.
You want me to charge that battery while you're starting?
I don't think I brought the charger with me.
Oh, okay.
I may have, but I don't. I don't think I have. So we caught these crappie earlier today. They're all like eater size. They're all like 11 and a half to like 13 and a half. Pretty good backs on them. We weren't super choosy because there's a lot of crappie in this lake on males or females. But what I do is I get behind this fin right here. I'm trying to get as much meat as I can up here, and then I'm going to go straight in till I hit the spine, turn the knife, and then run it down the spine with a little bit of an angle. And then I like to leave that little bit of a tail on right there, and then flip it over and do the same thing like that. And then you're going to get your belly meat that way too. And then that side's done like that. You don't want the guts touching the meat, but we'll clean it up after. And then I usually flip this over like that. Still keep my hand in the fish's mouth. And it's the same thing on this side. I'm not as good on the back side as I am on the front side. But with enough practice, maybe I'll get there someday. We got some roe there too, if anybody wants to eat it. Donnie will probably eat that roe. But, whoop. So I got a little too far there, but we can make up for it. And then just like that. And what I'll do at the end is I'll trim out all those at the end. And I'll do a handful of these and we'll vacuum seal them and just show you, like, for speed. I switched over to an electric knife about, this winter, and I absolutely love it. It's so much quicker and cleaner, and you get everything. You know, it does a better job on the meat. It does a better job on the fish, and there's very little waste at all. And the angle is pretty important for the angle of your knife. And then we're going to run that right through like that. And I pull by the mouth, so I'm not getting poked or anything. And then, as you can see through that. So I got all the meat there. I got all the meat there. And I'll trim that later. And there's not much left there for the foxes other than maybe the cheeks and the eyeballs. But we'll do a couple more. Clean this off. think they make more powerful knives out there, but this one's worked for me, and it was a decent price. If you guys are in the market for just a decent price knife, and at your local Bass Pro or Cabela's, I've been happy with it so far. And half a year, and there you go. There's not much left there.
Paper thin.
Yep. And what do you think? Couple more?
Yeah.
I don't know. Does it say how many people are on?
26.
26 viewing. Okay. If you guys have any questions, I don't know if they'll be able to. That one I got into the bones a little bit on that one. Missed a hair there, but I'll get that. There's no editing here, guys. This is it. And then we got the ribs and the rib bones in there, and I'll trim those out after. And I like to trim those out with a regular fillet knife. You could do it with the electric one too, but I seem to do a little bit better job, like feeling. This guy is so bony. This guy was a little thin, little bony on this male right here, but we got it all there. So there you go. And then I'll cut out the ribs after. And a lot of times I do that with like a fixed blade knife instead of the power knife, just because I could feel a lot better, for the bones.
Not a scissors.
No, I don't really use kitchen shears or anything like that. Yeah, you don't. That's why I usually leave the skin on, so I don't have to do this. But if you got a little bit of fingernail left, you can always do like I'm doing right now. There you go. And then same thing on this side. I just grip them right there by the mouth. Flip it. Lay it flat, and it's important to get if you can get your knife a little bit below the table, you can get that angle. And there's not much left on there. But I'll get into those later when we're off the live. But I'll just show you how I trim out, so you can kind of feel these. And if you go at an angle like this, you can start in the corner and then go this way, and you get that angle. You get the rest of that meat. And then that's it right there. So there's a beautiful fillet there. We'll wash that, and we'll actually show the guys how we vacuum seal them. And then same thing here. You can use the electric knife for it, or you could do what I'm doing, just use the fixed blade. And a lot of times, the guy you're fishing with, there's one guy doing one job and another doing the other. And if you have 3 people, the other person's putting it in bags or vacuum sealing it. But I could feel bones there. It looks meaty, but it's actually bones, so that's why we came out right there. And if you guys like eating fish, you know how good this stuff is right here. This is the creme de la creme, one of the best eating fish in the state of Maine right here, if you ask me, or most states. And they call them all different things. They call them, where I live, we call them crappie, or crappie actually. Other places it's crappie, other places it's speckled trout. Leave it in the comments, guys, what they call them where you live, because I love hearing, the colloquialisms and what things are called in different parts of the country. But that's a nice little fillet right there. These are post-spawn fish. Water temp today was 78 degrees. Caught them all on a little tickle shad. But that's a beautiful, beautiful, beautiful chunk of meat. Should take a bite for live television.
Sushi.
Yeah, a little sushi for live television. When you're cutting something that is this tasty and this good, sometimes you do just want to take a bite out of it. I've done that before when we were cutting up a moose. I ended up eating like 1.5 pounds of raw moose meat, and it was good. But the doctor that was there said it was probably not a good idea because of the parasites. But I said I've probably got a couple parasites in me already. So, and then every once in a while with that electric knife, you could feel just the tips of some bones right there. If you're gonna get bones with the electric knife, they're gonna be right there, so you can feel with your finger. And that's one of the reasons why I do switch over to this knife, is you can feel with your finger right there if there's gonna be any or not. And there we go. So that's done for those. And then you brought a hose out, right?
Yep.
This thing charged?
Yep.
All right, so I'm just gonna wash this off, because we did have a little bit of contamination with the guts and stuff. Not much. Crappie don't really have giant bellies, So I'm just gonna clean off with the hose. I grew up drinking from a hose, guys, so we also clean our meat with a hose too. Where we're from, we don't mind a hose. I don't know about you guys at home, but leave that in the comments too if you've ever drank from a hot hose in the summer. But we'll wash those off. And then I'm pretty excited to show you how much I love that Packback vacuum sealer, the battery powered one. It's like I said, it's one of my favorite kitchen tools at home. And then to be able to use it on the ice and on the water. Check with your local laws, because some places you're not allowed to cut up fish until you're home. But this is so much better for me than bringing it in the kitchen and having to clean up in the house too, or getting any smell or anything like that. So this is the vacuum sealer right here. Let's see. Let's make sure. Hoping I got power on that. Okay, so power on. We got some battery. And what I'm going to do here is I'm going to open this up. I got my bagger here. I'm going to put my bagger underneath my cutter like this, and then bring it out to there so we can seal it. This pushes down. We're going to hit seal, and that takes 5 or 10 seconds. You'll hear like a triple beep. Maybe 10 seconds for the first one as it heats up that component. After the third beep, okay, so we're sealed on the bottom of our bag right there. We're probably going to do like, what do you think, 6 fillets in a bag or something. So the bags don't have to be huge. So there's my trimmer right there. So there's my bag. It's sealed on the bottom. I'm going to take my fish, and usually you do want to dry this off a little bit more, but we're good for now for the sake of this video. And this stuff isn't going in the freezer. This is going to get eaten, but I do like to vacuum seal it for friends in case they already have plans for dinner or something like that. So there's a pretty good meal for, maybe 2 people. Let me throw another one in for 2 people. What do you think? Is that enough for 2 people? Okay. So we're going to set that here, and we're going to go across that same component, just the opposite direction. Push this down, push that down. And then there's 2 ways you could do this. You could pulse it. If you come in on this, if you view in on this, you could hold the pulse button and suck everything out yourself like that until you get it to where you want. Or you could just do it auto and just hit vacuum seal, and that's going to pull out all the air for you. It's going to vacuum it, and it'll also seal the top of that bag too. The water doesn't help for the seal, but there's not enough water in there now to worry about, and there's a clean out in this thing. 1, 2, 3, and then we're done. And then it releases the air, and there you go. There's a pack of just amazing, boneless, garden hose cleaned, locally caught, organic, free-range crappie right there in a vacuum bag, and it's just that easy. And then one of the other cool things that we usually do, like when we're ice fishing, I'll show you this other thing. This isn't really necessary here because I do have, we're gonna hit seal to do the bottom of the bag, but I do have a mother fox at home that's feeding some babies, so she's been taking a lot of fish carcasses and eating brains or whatever's left, chewing on rib cages. But I'll show you this. So that just sealed the bottom. Pull this out to roughly here. And this is one of the coolest things, like when I'm out ice fishing, is I'll make myself a bag like that. And then you could get a 10-inch with this thing. This one's only, I think, probably 6 or 8. But I'll throw all my carcasses in, especially if I'm at like a public place, like a boat launch or just a public launching area. And normally you're going to want a bigger bag for this, but this is what we're running today. Of course, I'm all slimed up. I got a rag over here. Yep. I'm all greased up, slimed up, guys. But yeah, so what I'll do with my remains, and especially if I'm staying at like a lodge or a hotel or like I said at like a public boat launch or something like that, you could throw all your carcasses in one of these, vacuum seal them, be an awesome steward for the sport and an awesome sportsman, and you're thinking about the next person in line too, and then your mess is cleaned up. If you have dogs or pets at home and you don't want them getting in your trash, if you vacuum seal your remains like that, then you're ahead of the game. But like I said, normally I'm using a little bit bigger bag than that, but we'll jam that right full. We'd vacuum seal that, and then throw that in the trash. And your trash man will also thank you if it's vacuum sealed and sealed like that. So I can seal that one, but I'm gonna feed these to the fox later, so I'm not gonna seal that. But that's just to show you that. And then, how many viewers we got on there?
27.
27 still. All right.
7 thumbs up.
7 thumbs up.
Need some more thumbs up.
If you guys want to see a few more cut up, throw a thumbs up in there and throw a comment on there. Tell me. A lot of people love to tell you how bad a job you do when you're cutting fish and how much meat you're leaving, but we do have a fox we got to feed too. So if I miss a little bit here or there, I don't want to hear too much about it.
Oh, you're up to 13 thumbs up now.
All right, cool. So
they want to see it.
So that's a really good cut right there, guys. And you know, this is, and like I said, it's all about the angles of this. And then flip it over. I hold it right by the mouth. It's the easiest handle to hold on to. And then if you can get that knife a little bit lower than your table, like that, go down to the tail, leave it on, and then you have something to pull against because you've got the mouth and the skin still on. And you're getting as much meat as you can back there. Knife down. Mother's coming out for the live show. She's coming out to eat some fish. But there you go. There's not much left on there. What do you mean? You love eating crap. You're live on YouTube, by the way. Oh, that was great. So yeah, so we'll get you guys a couple packs of these, and then I got to get a pack for Donnie. Donnie only likes to put about 4 fillets in a pack, so I want to be able to drop those off on the way home.
Nick Linder said looks like dinner.
Oh, Nick's a great guy. Nick's probably cut up more of these fish than I've ever caught.
Willie 212 says, hi, Mom.
Nice. So there you go there. Flip her over, grab the handle. They're definitely not as meaty in this body of water as they are in some of the other bodies of water I fish. And we are just coming off spawn right now. So you know, these fish, they're not putting the feed bag on very hard. So there you go, a couple more there. I left a little bit of meat there. No meat on this side, but I left a little bit on the belly there. So if you ever want to go back and get that, you can go back and get it if it's worth it to you. There's really not a lot there. But I do hate to leave some unless I know that fox is going to eat. So there you go there. And like I said, these are like the perfect eater size. We throw back anything over 14. We catch a lot of 14, 15 inches in Maine. We're super fortunate. They're built a little bit different here. They're starting to get some color. They're coming off their spawn colors. So you can see purples in the back, tans. Just a really pretty fish. And if you guys have never eaten crappie, I will tell you, give it a shot. You guys that live outside of Maine know that already. But if you live in Maine and you like brook trout, throw the brook trout, go to the freezer, take it, throw it right in the trash can, and go out and catch a bucket full of crappie. Because it does not get any better than this. Unless they're native brook trout. If they're native brook trout, maybe that's a different story. But if they're hatcheries, yeah, so that battery's kind of weak on this thing, but normally it's got a little bit more power. But it's cool when you can see through them, you know, see through the back and that, and not a lot of food in there. But yeah, we'll call that the end of this live show. Well, maybe I'll just vacuum seal these for them and just show them how easy that is and how easy cleanup's going to be. Is we got that hose right there, and I'll just hose off my portable cutting board, and then I'll be done with it. So we got that there, and then just carve around these. Don't forget that belly meat right there, guys. If you catch them big enough, there's all sorts of belly meat. I don't generally keep anything smaller than like 11, 12 inches. It'd be pretty hard up to keep something smaller than that living in Maine. We're really fortunate here with the size of our fish and how plentiful they are. Now you can eat these too. You can pick off the bones, but we're not quite that hard up. We're pretty poor, but we're not quite that poor yet. We're getting there. So there you go. And then, like I said, you can use your electric knife too. This is a little bit longer blade, but I feel like I trim it a lot closer and a lot cleaner when I use my my fixed blade, just regular fillet knife, like that. So you can do it that way too, but yeah. So I'll clean these off. All right, those are all cleaned off. We'll let them dry out just a little bit. And I'm gonna run one more bag through. I gotta get my end fixed first. This might have shut off. It has like an auto shut off. Yep, so it shut off. So we're gonna hit seal only. Takes a minute for the component to heat up. That's gonna heat up. In the meantime, I'm gonna take this and that's a pretty good feed of fish right there. Nice, tender, boneless fillets. That's dinner right there. I've been putting in catch and cook. I really like that catch and cook. And then that bag, probably about that size right there. Don't want to be wasteful. The bottom's already sealed. Throw in the deliciousness. So I could have gone a little bit smaller on that bag. And you kind of want that dry if you can, up where you're sealing it and no food up there, but this thing's got enough power, it actually seals it even when it is like that. And you just overlap it a hair. And then I like to pulse it to make sure I got a good connection up there before I hit the seal. And that sucks the air right out. You can see it vacuuming like that. And then once I get that, I'll hit seal and food. That finishes sucking out all the air. And then we've got 3 beeps. Cool. That's it. And there you go. That's probably going to you, Donnie, if you're tuned in at home. There's your dinner right there. There's a little bit more in there than you normally like, but there's no bones. Watch for pellets. There might be some size 6 pellets in there. But that's it, guys. I'll check. I'll do these off camera, and I'll check for any comments. I'll get back to everybody, and if you guys have a better way of doing it in a hurry when you're outside, and let me know in the comments. But that's the way I do it, and it seems to work for me. And having these tools really helps me do a better job, and it makes a lot more fun for me. And you can throw it in a Ziploc bag if you like to, but I like to vacuum seal them, especially when you're catching a little bit more than you eat during a day, or if you want to give them away to people, because like I said, they might already have dinner plans and might want it later in the week or something. One of the best presents you can ever give somebody is a vacuum sealed bag of crappie with already filleted. So that's it. So we'll end this live. Yep, you just hit that button right there. And then it says, are you sure you want to end?